this video, we're going to look at the human digestive system. Now here is a diagram of the human digestive system. Now first job you need to do is to label each part of the organ. Now first one here, the food enters the mouth and then goes into the food pipes and then straight away into the stomach. Now here, this one here, that is the salivary gland. Salivary gland. So that's number one. It's in here. Okay, so this gland releases salivary, and that is a enzyme start to digest starch, carbohydrates, things like that. Okay, then it goes to this food pipe. The food pipe, in a biological term, is called esophagus. Esophagus, the food pipe, and then goes into the stomach. So that's stomach, the stomach, and then the food will goes to the small intestines. Now before that, here, this one here, that's pancreas. That's pancreas. It will release enzyme to help to digest food. And of course here, and then here, this is gallbladder. This is gallbladder, and that's number 8, gallbladder. And here, this one is liver. That's liver. That's liver. It's this one here. And then you have this small intestines. Small intestines, number 9. Small intestine. And then you have number 5 is this large intestine. Large intestine. And then you have last one here is the rectum. Now, if you need a bit help in Chinese, then I can put them next to it. Large intestines. That's a small intestine. And that is gallbladder. And that one is stomach. And that is rectum. And that is pancreas. That's esophagus. And salivary gland. And the last one is liver. So that's how you match up. So we need to recognize each organ involved in a digestive system and jobs. What job do they do? What function they have? Now we're going to look at the process of digestion. This diagram shows you the journey that food travels in the digestive system. You can see this red arrow. See, from number 1 goes into the mouth, number 2 goes into the food pipe, esophagus, and then journey 3 goes into the stomach, and then goes through into the small intestines. But before it enters the small intestines, you have number 4 pancreas and the number 5 liver, and what's the job of each. And then you can see then it goes to the number 7 and then goes out. Okay, so that is a journey. Let's look at number 1 here. Number 1 here is in the mouth. It produces saliva. It mainly contains amylase. Amylase is a type of enzyme. It only digests starch. So that's why when you chewing a piece of bread, if you chew too long, you will taste sweeter. That's because the starch is digested by the enzyme called amylase into glucose or sugar. So you taste sweeter. And then journey 2 is into this muscular tube called esophagus, and then that is pushing down the food into the number 3. Number 3 is here, the stomach. So the stomach is a muscular organ where digestion continues. So in here, the protease is secreted to begin the digestion of protein. So protease is an enzyme specialized in digestion of protein. And also in the stomach, you found hydrochloric acid, and that is to kill bacteria, because when you eat food, you eat bacteria with it. So the first thing you do is to kill bacteria. And also the stomach muscles can really relax and contract and mix the food very well. Okay, and then they are going to go to the next stop. So number 4 here, this yellow one here, that's pancreas. The pancreas, the job is to produce digestive enzymes. Those enzymes called carbohydrates, which only digest carbohydrates, and proteins only digest protein, and lipids digest lipids. So these enzymes are secreted from here into the small intestine. And the number 5 here, you have the liver that produce bile, and this bile is secreted and stored in the gallbladder. The bile is stored in here. There are 2 jobs. One is to neutralize the acid, because the food in the stomach is very, very acidic. So you need to be food need to be neutralized before it enter the small intestine. So the bile is a alkaline solution. It neutralizes the acid. It's alkaline, see here. And also, it also emulsifies the fat. What does that mean? It means it breaks the bigger size of fats into smaller ones. Once it breaks down into smaller ones, it literally increases the surface area. So the surface area gets larger. That will help the lipids to work better. Okay, so that's a bit of preparation. All right, and then it goes to number 6, which is small intestine. This is where the food completely digested and absorbed. Now, digestion and absorption are different concepts. Digestion is to break down the large molecules into smaller ones. So all the large molecules, for instance, protein, will be broken down into amino acids, and the carbohydrates will be broken down into glucose. That's the reason. So they break down into smaller molecules. That's digestion. And then absorbed. Now, absorption means it's going to be the smaller molecule enter your blood vessel. Enter your blood vessel to provide you with energy. So that's the small intestine. So that's where the food completely digested and absorbed. Now, how does the small intestine do this job? You can see from here. Now, that's the picture of the small intestine inside. You see this finger-like extension, and that's called the villi. Now, this villi is really, if you look at that villi, it's number 1, the wall is very, very thin. Wall is very thin. It's called 1 cell thick. So the wall is thin so that the digested food can enter into the blood vessel here very easily, because the wall is very thin. And also it has got a very, very rich blood supply. So it's called network of capillaries in here. So that's all help the food is absorbed into the blood vessel. So here I have given you these 3 adaptations of the small intestines, how they adapt for the job. Number 1, the villi, the single is villus. Now stick out and give a bigger surface area. So each of those goes, extension like this, so that increase the surface area for food to be absorbed. That's number 1. Number 2, the wall is very, very thin. It's only 1 cell thick. Can you see this wall? This is only 1 cell. 1 cell, 1 layer of cell. So 1 cell thick wall, very thin. And number 3, they have a very rich network of blood vessels, so that the food can go through this thin wall into the blood vessel. So that's absorption, right? So the food will be completely digested and absorbed in the small intestine. And then the rest will go into the large intestine. Now, large intestine also absorb some water. So there are extra water that will be absorbed in here, and then the food will be get rid of. The rest of the waste will be gone. So, summary, it says here, food is digested in mouth, stomach, and small intestine. Digested food is absorbed into the bloodstream in the small intestine. Now, excessive water is absorbed back into the blood vessel in the body in the large intestines, and any undigested food will pass out of the anus as feces when we go out the toilet. So that is a journey. That is a journey of the food travels, and that is how the food is digested. My name is June. I am a qualified teacher of science in England, and I am a published author. My book is available on Jingdong, and it makes good gift. If you would like to support my work, please subscribe and hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and I see you again soon.